Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am VC Pramod with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says world accepts India will be the major engine of global growth in the coming decades. President Ram Nath Kovind reaches Tajikistan on a 3-day visit. Bilateral, regional and multilateral cooperation on the agenda. In Jammu and Kashmir, security beefed up for the first phase of local bodies elections tomorrow. And in sports, India thrashed New Zealand 7-1 in the Sultan of Johor Cup Junior Men's Hockey Tournament in Malaysia. India's Keerthana Pandian wins the girls' title in the IBSF World Under-16 Snooker Championship in Petersburg, Russia. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the country is going through a period of rapid transformation. Inaugurating Destination Uttarakhand Summit 2018 in Dehradun today, he said the world has accepted that India will be a major engine of global growth in the coming decades. Mr. Modi said speed and scale of economic reforms in the country is unprecedented. The Prime Minister said India has improved by 42 ranks in the ease of doing business rankings. He said the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code has made doing business easier. Mr. Modi said the implementation of GST is the biggest tax reform since independence.
इंसॉल्वेंसी और बैंक्रप्सी कोड से आज कारोबार आसान हुआ है, बैंकिंग सिस्टम को भी ताकत मिली है। जीएसटी के तौर पर भारत ने स्वतंत्रता के बाद सबसे बड़ा टैक्स रिफॉर्म किया है। जीएसटी ने देश को सिंगल मार्केट में बदल दिया है और टैक्स बेस बढ़ाने में भी बहुत बड़ी मदद की है.
Highlighting his government's performance during the last 4 years, Mr. Modi said fiscal deficit has been reduced and inflation has been brought under control by the efforts of the government. The Prime Minister said that the infrastructure sector is progressing rapidly. He spoke of the fast pace of road construction, railway line construction, new metro systems, high-speed rail project and dedicated freight corridors.
हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेक्टर भी रिकॉर्ड गति से आगे बढ़ रहा है. पिछले वर्ष ही भारत में करीब 10,000 किलोमीटर नेशनल हाईवे का निर्माण हुआ है. यानी करीब 27 किलोमीटर डेली निर्माण की गति से काम हुआ है.
Mr. Modi said the recently launched Ayushman Bharat scheme will spur the development of medical infrastructure in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. The Prime Minister said that New India is a great destination for investment and Destination Uttarakhand represents this spirit. Mr. Modi spoke of initiatives being taken in the food processing and renewable energy sectors. He also mentioned the achievements of the Make in India initiative. The Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference of India Region, Zone 3, has begun in Guwahati. The Executive Committee meeting of the conference is being held tonight. Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan will formally inaugurate the event tomorrow. Our correspondent reports that speakers and deputy speakers of state assemblies and MPs from the northeastern states are taking part in the conference.
The 4-day conference will discuss several issues on Northeast region. Women empowerment, skill development, insurgency and connectivity are some of the topics that would be discussed during the conference. The Lok Sabha Speaker will also launch the Northeast chapter of Speakers Research Initiative during the conference. This initiative would provide a training platform to the people's representatives and officials on multiple issues. Manas Patim Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
In Jammu and Kashmir, security has been beefed up for the first phase of polling for the urban local body elections tomorrow. The polling for the first phase involves elections to 422 wards spread across all the 3 regions of the state. Polling will start at 7 in the morning and will end at 4 in the evening. For the first time, electronic voting machines (EVMs) are being used in these local body polls. The last election to the municipal bodies in the state was held in 2005 through secret ballots and the 5-year term had expired in February 2010. More from our correspondent.
Campaigning for the first phase of polling ended today, 24 hours before the start of voting. The fate of 1,283 candidates trying their luck from 247 wards in Jammu region, 149 wards in Kashmir Valley and 26 in Ladakh will be sealed in the EVMs tomorrow. In Jammu region, 671 polling stations have been set up in 3 districts of Jammu, Rajouri and Poonch for the first phase of polling, while 447 candidates are in the fray for the 75 wards of Municipal Corporation of Jammu. 296 candidates are trying their luck in the 79 wards of 7 municipal committees. With Yogesh Sharma, this is R.K. Rana for AR News, Jammu.
In the Kashmir Valley, the polls have been scheduled to be held in 3 wards of the Srinagar Municipal Corporation, besides covering municipal committees of Kupwada, Handwada, Bandipora and Baramulla. Municipal committees of Badgam, Chadura and Khan Sahib in Central Kashmir and Kulgam, Devsar, Achbal, Kokarnag and Kazigund in South Kashmir. In addition, the polls are scheduled for municipal committees of Kargil and Leh in the first phase. We have more from our correspondent.
The latest Election Commission data suggests that 138 candidates are in the fray for 57 wards in the first phase of municipal elections in Srinagar, Badgam, Anantnag, Baramulla, Bandipora and Kupwara districts in Kashmir Valley. Kargil and Leh have 66 candidates in fray for 26 municipal wards. At a high-level meeting, Governor Satyapal Malik reviewed the security situation in the state ahead of the first phase of the municipal elections. Several candidates including women contestants belong to Congress and BJP and many are contesting independently. Tariq Rathar, AIR News, Srinagar.
The Election Commission is in the process of allocating electronic voting machines, EVMs, and voter verifiable paper audit trail, VVPAT, for over 10 lakh polling stations for the 2019 general elections. The Commission said around 22 lakh ballot units, 16 lakh control units and nearly 17 lakh VVPATs will be used for the elections, including the buffer stock for training as well as replacements. After announcing the election schedule for 5 states in New Delhi yesterday, the Commission said it is undertaking the status of production and supply of EVMs and VVPATs with the PSUs along with the first-level checks and training to district officers. In Jammu and Kashmir, the massive cordon and search operation CASO, launched for 10 hours in half a dozen villages in Shopian district, ended peacefully without any untoward incident. Security forces launched the operation on the basis of information about presence of armed terrorists in these villages. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. President Ram Nath Kovind has reached Tajikistan on a 3-day visit to the Central Asian country. After arrival at capital Dushanbe this afternoon, the President was received by Deputy Prime Minister of Tajikistan, Zokirzoda Mohammad Toir. Minister of State for Defence, Subhash Bhamre, and Rajya Sabha member, Shamsher Singh Manhas, are part of the President's official delegation. Ministry of External Affairs said that Mr. Kovind will meet his Tajik counterpart, Emamoli Ramon, Speaker of Parliament, Shukur John Zuhurov, and Speaker of the Lower House, Majlise Namo Yangdagon of Parliament. Tajik Prime Minister Kohir Razulzuda will also call on the President. Meanwhile, Mr. Kovind was given community reception by the Indian diaspora at the Indian Embassy in Dushanbe tonight. Our correspondent covering the President's visit has filed this report.
President was welcomed by Tajik and Sanskrit songs presented by Tajik students of Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center. It is an ICCR center which works on promoting the cultural and educational relations between two countries. Members of Indian community and a large number of artists from Tajikistan attended the function. Ceremonial welcome of President will take place tomorrow, after which he will hold talks with the top leadership of Tajikistan, including President Emamoli Rahman, to strengthen ties between the two nations. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Dushanbe.
All areas of bilateral, regional and multilateral cooperation are expected to be discussed during President's visit to Tajikistan. During his 3-day tour, Mr. Kovind will also visit the Tajik National University, where he will deliver an address on countering radicalization, challenges in modern societies. He will also pay his respects to Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore at their memorials in Dushanbe. UN General Assembly President Maria Fernanda Espinosa has said the UN Security Council reforms process depends on the will and political commitment of member states, and there is need for further dialogue with the permanent 5 members. Ms. Maria said she will ensure that there are good co-facilitators to push the negotiations forward. India has been at the forefront of efforts to push for UN Security Council reforms, maintaining that it rightly deserves a permanent seat at a reformed and expanded council. Back home, heavy rain lashed many parts of Kerala today. As per Indian Met Department, heavy to very heavy rains will continue in the state till Tuesday. The low pressure formed near Lakshadweep in Arabian Sea has intensified since last night. The depression, which has intensified into a cyclonic storm, is currently moving towards Oman coast and Yemen. Though the storm has not directly affected Kerala, heavy rainfall is being reported from various parts of the state due to this. The state government has put its state machinery on high alert, and the State Disaster Management Authority has instructed the district collectors to be on alert to meet any eventuality. The Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar has been instituted by the Ministry of Human Resource Development to recognize, inspire and celebrate excellence in sanitation and hygiene practice in schools. Here is a ground report from our Goa correspondent.
This year, South Goa's Madgaon-based King's School was awarded the National Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar 2017-18 for taking steps towards fulfilling the mandate of the Swachh Vidyalaya campaign. A student from the King's School, Sharvari Shiknis, speaks about the cleanliness movement in her school.
I'm Sharvari, a Civic Sense and Eco Club member of the King's School. I'm studying in class 12, and I'm really proud to know that my school has received the Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar this year. From the junior classes onwards, we are all sensitized to keep our schools clean and green. As students, as citizens, and as the future of our country, it is our responsibility to take care of our environment and surroundings.
Achievement of the King's School is expected to inspire other educational institutions in Goa to ramp up cleanliness initiatives and awareness activities and promote the Swachh Bharat campaign. Saikat Sarkar from Goa for AIR.
The Indian Air Force is celebrating its 86th anniversary tomorrow. In the last 8 decades, IAF has technologically evolved and grown in strength to thwart any threat to the nation. It is committed to safeguarding the Indian skies and has played a key role in providing assistance to the people of the country during any natural calamity. The News Services Division of All India Radio and its weekly bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak Tomorrow will bring you a discussion on future energy, renewable energy. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the experts sitting in our studio on toll-free numbers 1-800-115767. India thrashed New Zealand 7-1 today in the Sultan of Johor Cup Junior Men's Hockey Tournament. It is India's second victory in as many matches in the event, being held in Johor Bahru in Malaysia. Yesterday, India started their campaign by overcoming hosts Malaysia 2-1 in a hard-fought encounter. India now top the table with 6 points. India's next fixture will be against Japan on Tuesday. India's Keerthana Pandian has won the girls' title in the IBSF World Under-16 Snooker Championships. In the final in St. Petersburg, Russia, Keerthana outclassed her Belarusian rival Albina Leshchuk 3-1. It is a maiden international crown for the Indian girl. The 4th India International Science Festival IISF 2018 in Lucknow is attracting a huge gathering every day. It was inaugurated by President Ram Nath Kovind yesterday. The stalls of various organizations and departments such as DRDO, ISRO, ICAR, ICSR, Biotechnology and Railways have been set up. More than 12,000 scientists and students are taking part in the festival. Our correspondent takes a look at the festival activities.
Expo at Railway Ground, Gomti Nagar and Science Village at NBRI are attracting a huge gathering. 550 students of a school made a world record by simultaneously isolating DNA of banana in 61 minutes in the fest. Earlier, this record was in the name of Seattle Research Institute, Washington. DRDO's radar Ashwini, battery running cycle by students of class 10th, solar car, fire warning system, control and monitor your vehicle from home prototypes are a few which attract people. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says world accepts India will be the major engine of global growth in the coming decades. President Ram Nath Kovind visits Tajikistan on a 3-day visit, bilateral, regional and multilateral cooperation on the agenda. In Jammu and Kashmir, security beefed up for the first fake local body elections tomorrow. And in sports, India thrashed New Zealand 7-1 in the Sultan of Johor Cup Junior Men's Hockey Tournament in Malaysia. India's Keerthana Pandian wins the girls' title in the IBSF World Under-16 Snooker Championships in Petersburg, Russia. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.